Hey guys, what's up? It's the Black Avenger Lee Sanders here of the RCWR Show and Impact Showdown Radio, coming at you on February 20th, 2013. Breaking news, in case you might have missed it, looks like WWE Superstar Jack Swagger, the All-American American, or as I like to think of him these days, the Angry American, was arrested right around the SmackDown tapings down in Mississippi 24 hours ago. Now, he was charged with being in possession of marijuana, DUI, and speeding. Now, as of right now, as it's 8:30 p.m. on the East Coast, he was released of his own recognizance, but you can't help but think about what all's been going down with Jack Swagger so far since he's come back to the company. Back from a 4-5 month hiatus, came back repackaged, has a great mouthpiece in Dutch Mantel, currently being known as Zeb Coulter right now in the WWE Universe. Seems like this guy was just destined for one major push. Myself, co-host Diamond K, we recently had sat up on the RCWR show past couple of weeks, and we were just giving Jack Swagger great praise. Very pleased with the development that has been going on with him. It finally looked as if Jack Swagger was just finally getting it all together and just putting it here and finally had that whole package going. Because, I mean, when you look at a guy like Jack Swagger, first thing you say to yourself, that guy is tall, he's got a good build, he's got a nice look. Then when you hear him talk, he's got that whole lisp thing going on. But you can kind of get past that. Well, for me, for a lot of years, I couldn't really get past that. But since he's come back repackaged, it just seems not really relevant right now. I could care less. And this couldn't come at a more jacked up time right now, because this man just won the Elimination Chamber match to become the new #1 contender to face World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio for the title at this year's WrestleMania. So now he has put himself in a very tight spot, one which his spot could be removed. Now, I'm coming at you guys from a writing and a business standpoint. I know you guys have probably looked at a gazillion other videos of people going on their little rants and they're not really staying focused. I'm glad that you stumbled onto this video that you're watching right now. I'm going to give you guys some great food for thought. Now, from a writing business standpoint, this has really given WWE a big black eye. No bullshit about that. I think what we can possibly expect, if it was me in charge, if I was the one writing, I think what we could possibly expect, honestly, I think Jack Swagger may end up going in a match against Big Show, where that #1 contender spot is going to be on the line. And unlike what could possibly go down with John Cena next week, as he's going to be taking on CM Punk for his spot at WrestleMania, I know John Cena's going to get the job done. But with regards to what's going on with Jack Swagger, I got Big Show winning that spot, and that's how you remove Jack Swagger from TV. Right now, WWE, they need to distance themselves from Jack Swagger. This guy and the storyline that they've created with the whole illegal immigrants coming into the country and then taking the jobs, Medicaid, education, away from hard-working Americans that's finding a hard time supporting their family. I mean, a great rip from the headlines, kind of similar to the way Law and Order be ripping stuff from the headlines there to do good episodes. WWE literally doing the same thing. But this one has a really nice twist, because unlike what went down with Sergeant Slaughter, Iron Sheik, guys like Muhammad Hassan, Sean Davari, here we have a full-blown American, a guy that has served in the Vietnam War, that's having all these problems, all these things that he's seeing that's wrong with the country. And he wants for everybody to unite. And to have Jack Swagger be in on that, I mean, perfect combination right there. And then you have the babyface being portrayed by Alberto Del Rio, you know, who represents those lower class people, who represents those hard-working people. I mean, you have a case right here where it's a really great story. Both sides walk away coming off very popular in the WWE universe. But now that you have this stupid little DUI, marijuana possession, speeding charges, I honestly feel that Jack Swagger may have just literally smoked his last opportunity at being relevant in the company. Now, Jack Swagger's been around for a good minute. He knows better. He knows right from wrong. If I'm not mistaken, this guy has about at least 5 to 7 years under his belt with the company. So I would not be surprised if WWE came down hard on him. We could see that proposed match, as I put out there, we could see him get suspended. And it could be acknowledged on Raw that he suffered an injury or he's been suspended for violating the wellness policy. I mean, at this point, you really shouldn't jerk the WWE universe around. You should just be straight up and say he violated the wellness policy. Number one contender spot is up for grabs. There's now going to be a tournament that's going to play out for the next couple of weeks on Raw and SmackDown till a new number one contender is crowned. Have that new number one contender take on Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight title. And at least this way you kind of clean up this big old pile of funk. Now, that X Factor that I love to name him as, you know who I'm talking about, Dolph Ziggler. Now, some fans, they may not like the fact that now it kind of looks as though maybe Dolph Ziggler won't be cashing in that Money in the Bank briefcase on maybe an episode of Raw, SmackDown, weeks before WrestleMania. But I think at this point, fans could probably relish in the idea that Dolph Ziggler would be looking to cash in that briefcase at WrestleMania. Is he going to get the job done? That's an entirely different story. But I think at this point, with the way how everything is just playing out right now you kind of have to remove that whole connection that Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger had there. Remember, they used to be a tag team for a couple of months. You know, that really would have made some very interesting TV, I'd have thought, if Jack Swagger didn't get into the trouble that he did. So, very unfortunate, but that's honestly how I feel things are going to be playing out. So, don't be too surprised if you see a combination of these things play out effective next week or over the course of the next few weeks leading up into WrestleMania. You know, this is an opportunity where stars want to be able to shine and prove that they are deserving of getting that push from management. And a lot of guys would have killed to be in this position that Jack Swagger was in right now. Honestly, I would be very shocked if WWE did not discipline him in any type of way. From what we've seen in the past, WWE, they have been very critical in issuing punishments. For them to not punish Jack Swagger would just send a bad message to everybody in the back. So definitely look for disciplinary action to come out in the coming days. We're going to stay on top of this story very closely, and for the very latest, we highly encourage you guys to check us out on our website at infinityoneproductions.com. You can also follow us on Facebook for the most current updates, as we're always putting new stuff on our page there, sharing with you all whatever we're able to come across, whether it's wrestling, entertainment, whatever. We're always covering a little bit of everything. But we're definitely going to be staying on top of this story. And what I'd like to do, I'd like to get you all's comments of what all I just said. If you agree that Jack Swagger's days are now numbered, or hey, maybe you might feel a little bit indifferent. Maybe you think nothing's going to happen to Jack Swagger. Maybe nothing should happen to Jack Swagger. Let me know what you think, and you can speak by just submitting a comment down below. Easy as that. We'll follow up on it on a special edition of the RCWR Show Weekend Edition. You can catch it this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern right at blogtalkradio.com/the RCWR Show. And that's going to do it. If you end up checking out some of the other great content that we have on our channel here, do us a huge favor. There's going to be that little box in the corner that says subscribe. Hit that button so that you never miss out, as we post a lot of exclusive goodies on here from time to time, just like what you're watching right now. But definitely share your comments. Truly a bad time right now, especially if you are a Jack Swagger fan. You just started getting behind this newly packaged Jack Swagger, aka the all angry American, as I'm dubbing him. Bad timing right now as we are 6 weeks away from WrestleMania. Share those comments below, and thank you in advance for sharing. Till we hear from you guys later on. Hey, you know, this Thursday night we got Impact Showdown Radio. We'll cover the fallout from TNA Wrestling. Catch that at 10 p.m. Eastern. If you're on the East Coast, soon as Impact Wrestling goes off the air, just hop on over to blogtalkradio.com/the RCWR show. Join us for a new Impact Showdown Radio with myself and Diamond K, and we'll get you guys caught up on the latest fallout from Impact Wrestling. Also get you guys caught up on the very latest in TNA Wrestling news and beyond. Join us for that. Everybody else, hey, be safe, be kind to one another, folks. We will see you next time. Everybody, take care.